4 of those characters storyboarding around here at the castle. We've got all the shots we need for our storyboarding. So when we get home to Sasha's house now,
hey guys, welcome back to Cindy 101. If you're going down the Windows route, I'd probably advise that you only think about composing film music if that's the only part of the filmmaking process you want to do. It's a big editing job for us because it's the first time we've even used muzzle flashes, let alone lots of the features we're going to have to be using. So. Hey guys, it's me Sam, welcome back to Cindy 101, and today we're doing our first top 10 video in a very long time, whilst also giving you an update on what we've been up to and what we will be getting up to in the new year. It's been a long time since we last made a video, so I can't wait for this. This is top 10 Harry Potter characters. At number 10 is the lovable yet incredibly annoying character Dobby. This house elf may really get on your nerves throughout the films, but you can't help but deny he does bring a tear to your eye in his final moments on the beach in the penultimate film. Also in the books, Dobby provides an incredible sense of warmth and someone to go and see when Harry doesn't want to go and see Dumbledore while he is working at Hogwarts, which I do think they should have included the elves working at Hogwarts in the films. I do believe it was in the Goblet of Fire and Order of the Phoenix that they worked at Hogwarts. Maybe Half-Blood Prince, I've never got onto the Half-Blood Prince, but I do think that is an element they really should have included in it. So at number 10 is the lovable house elf, Dobby. At number 9 is the perfect example of zero to hero in the Harry Potter films and books. Neville Longbottom starts as a hindrance who's a pain in the arse, but then he becomes an epic sword fighter who effectively saves Harry, Ron and Hermione's lives all simultaneously by killing Nagini. Not only with an amazing speech and not in the first film and the last film. Neville Longbottom is fantastic. At number 8 is the perfect example of snobbery and deception in the wizardry world. What I love about Lucius Malfoy is that a lot of people know that he's foul and he's evil, but they have no proof to suggest that, and so he gets by being this rich wizard, and yet he serves the most evil of powers, and I think that's a very good representation of perhaps corrupt people in a modern world. So that's why we had to have Lucius Malfoy not only on the list, but at this spot, maybe even higher. Some of you will look at this list now and think, you cannot be serious. Alright, that was really crap. But at number 7 is Sirius Black. Now, like I said, a lot of you are going to be a bit unhappy, think he should be in the top 5, maybe even the top 3. And yes, he's a brilliant character. Putting him at number 7 is not saying there's anything bad about Sirius Black. I don't really know how to articulate it, but what I can say is that Sirius Black, what I love about him as a character is that for the first, throughout the Harry Potter films, there's sort of an element that though Harry is very young, he has a complete element of responsibility and he is responsible for his own life and those around him. And when Sirius comes along, it's almost as if that's going to be taken away and that everything's going to be better. And that's why I think killing him off was actually a really good idea, because it actually destroyed that idea of safety and support and left Harry alone in the dark again, left him fighting for his life with the responsibility. So Sirius Black, definitely deserving of the top 10. I'm going to leave it to you to decide really where you personally think he should be. At number 6 is the Deputy Headmaster of Hogwarts, Minerva McGonagall. What I love about Minerva McGonagall... Right. At number 6 is the Deputy Headmistress of Hogwarts, Minerva McGonagall. Yeah, I'll do it this time,
If it happens, you can just keep it in.
At number 6. Right, I'm gonna do it this time. Right. At number 6 is the Deputy Headmistress of Hogwarts, Minerva McGonagall. What I love about Minerva McGonagall is that she sort of shadows Dumbledore and his mighty presence throughout the whole film, but there are moments where Dumbledore's not there to help, where she really comes into her own. For example, Order of the Phoenix, when Dumbledore is away, she really, really owns Umbridge, like totally owns it. And in the last 2 films, she's a massive help at Hogwarts. So without Minerva McGonagall, I don't think people would be able to get by the way they would, and I don't think Battle of Hogwarts would have been one, which is why she has to be at number 6. At number 5 is the single character in the series who can take you in a single moment from laughing to crying. It's Rubeus Hagrid. Hagrid is one of the funniest characters in the films, especially when drunk in The Half-Blood Prince. I think without Hagrid, Harry wouldn't be the character he develops to become, and how can you deny the epicness of him riding down from the sky on a motorbike? So that's why at number 5, we've got to have Hagrid. At number 4 is my favourite character in the series. What I love about Lupin is that he's there, but you never truly notice him unless you pay attention. Of course, in The Prisoner of Azkaban, he's a very main character, but in the rest of the films, he's always there helping Harry out, but it's never truly noticed. And that's why I think they did it so well when he died, because they included that element as well. You see him dead on the floor, and even though you don't see him that much, you don't see him actually die, you still feel very sad because you really truly begin to understand that Lupin would have done anything for Harry, he would have died for Harry because of how much Sirius meant to Lupin. So that's why I think Lupin's got to go at number 4, because he is by far one of the best secondary characters in the series. We now get to our top 3. Like I said, we're not including Harry, Hermione or Ron. If we were, the top 3 would have been Harry, Hermione and Ron in no particular order. But at number 3 is Severus Snape, the guy you love to hate. I think what's so sad about Snape is that in the first film you see him as such a villain, as someone so full of hatred and disgust, but as the films progress you begin to realise Snape is a brilliant person, and much like Lupin, he would have done anything for Harry, but in contrast, because of how much he cared for Lily. And I think it ends in such a tragic demise for Snape, and it really is so sad, because it shows how, as much as he was dedicated to Dumbledore and Harry's cause, he was so hopelessly dedicated to Lord Voldemort as well. This is why Snape really deserves the number 3 spot. And what have you guys noticed that's making you giggle? What have you noticed?
You're breaking down things. You can just see the eyes. You can just see the eyes.
At number 2 is Albus Dumbledore, the headmaster of Hogwarts, or at least for 5 of the films, if you take into account Order of the Phoenix, which in theory he's not headmaster for all of. Anyway, we see 2 actors play Dumbledore throughout the films, Richard Harris and Michael Gambon, and I think they both portray him in very different ways, but both portray him perfectly. Richard Harris portray him with a sense of warmth and love, and Dumbledore, Michael Gambon even, with a sense of warmth and love as well, but a sense of mightiness and a slight sense of, it seems he has more authority over the characters than Richard Harris, and I think that sort of displays how he's a very powerful wizard, and he is truly a very powerful wizard, and that's why I think it's very sad when he dies, because it shows how no matter how powerful you are all, everybody is vulnerable, and that's why I think Dumbledore really deserves a place at the 2nd spot, not because of how epic he is and how sad his death is, but because... Now, before we move on to our top spot, who, based on our screensaver by here, you may be able to guess who he is, I just want to note some characters that really do deserve to be in the top 10, but couldn't make the list. Luna Lovegood doesn't come in till, I believe it's film 5, but you know, she's a lovely character, and I think the only person who's always remained truly loyal to Harry no matter what, even Ron. I mean, you see him in Goblet of Fire telling Harry to piss off. If that's loyalty, then I can't be, well, I do tell my friends to piss off quite a lot, so. Hermione, Ron and Harry, obviously 3 very good characters. I don't really think I have to spell it out to you. Draco Malfoy, Professor Flitwick, very secondary character, but very fun to watch. Anyway, the list goes on and on and on. J.K. Rowling and the people who made the films created such an amazing sequence, such an amazing group of characters, whether it be in Hogwarts, outside of Hogwarts, whatever. But the Harry Potter characters are absolutely magnificent. And you may have guessed it from the wallpaper, but our number 1 spot goes to Lord Voldemort. Lord Voldemort, possibly one of my favourite characters in Harry Potter, and it's because he's so evil yet so dignified, and he's got a sense of class to him. I think it's the same with Lucius Malfoy as well. They've got a sense of class to them, and I think that sort of adds a sense of intimidation, which I think is very key, because the whole point of Voldemort is that you don't see him until the 4th film, and even then he's not very present. He gets people to do his work for him. So when Voldemort finally comes in the last film and comes right at hand, oh god, I can't. Don't. It's okay, I can do it. It's okay. When Voldemort finally arrives in the last film with his giant army, you really feel that sense of intimidation and tension building up over these films and books coming together, showing a pure sense of evil and showing the pure Antichrist. And that's why Lord Voldemort deserves the #1 spot. I'm really sorry about what just... As I said at the beginning of the episode, we're going to be giving you an update on what we've been up to and what we will be getting up to. Now, one thing we've had quite a few questions about sort of outside of Cine 101 is our short film inspired by Inception, Dream Paradox. Now, when Harry and I wrote the screenplay for Dream Paradox, we wrote it so that it would be something very, very simple, very easy to do, but it would sort of be a good story and it would look very good when you've actually done it. And it started off like that and it looked like it was going to be like that, but over time we realised that it was going to be difficult and that there was a lot more complex stuff we had to do that were part of it, and it was going to be very difficult. And the difficult side to it and the fact that we may not even be able to do it made my ambition drop severely low and made Harry's ambition drop for it severely low. And it was because that we were leading the project, our ambition sort of spread around the cast and everybody else involved, the crew and whatnot. And so everybody having no ambition resulted in the project basically just falling apart. However, we will do it one day. However, I'm going to put it on a hiatus for now, which means that we're taking a break from it. We're not going to do any more work on it for a while, and we may return to it a couple of months from now or a couple of years from now. But what I'm saying is that we will do it one day, and I'm saying this because we wrote it and we had done so many projects in the past, worked on them, but we had never felt as passionate about any of those projects, not products, as we do about Dream Paradox, and that's where we have to do it one time. It's a bit sort of me and Harry's baby, our love child, and so we want to protect it, we want to nurture it, but we also want, I'm not going to say we want to do it, we want to take it away from the fact I said it was a baby. We want to make Dream Paradox because it's effectively everything me and Harry have ever dreamed of in a project and bringing it all together to create something truly special. Will we do any projects in the meantime? I don't know. We've sort of touched on a little project, a couple of projects we'd like to do, and I'm not going to say anything officially. In fact, if we do a project, the initial announcement would actually be the trailer for it, because we made the announcement video for Dream Paradox feeling certain we were going to do it, and then obviously, as I said, it fell apart, so we wouldn't be announcing anything unless we actually made a trailer for it, and we'd have made a trailer if we had actually made it. So yeah, anyway, for now though, we want to focus on coming into this new year, 2014, on getting this channel back up and running, getting more regular videos like we were doing before. We love doing it, it's something that I love to do, and everybody else that works on it. It's turned into a great hobby for us, and it's good to see that you enjoy it as well. So we'll have more top 10 videos coming next year. Just a bit of just to mention something, the Halloween special was not made with the intentions of being scary or anything like that. We entered it into a competition and we wanted to make it as a bit of a joke. And what you've got to remember, well, you wouldn't be able to remember this because we haven't told you, but it was the first time we'd ever used muzzle flashes, which, if you don't know, is the act of implicating sort of flashes coming out of the gun as they fire, blood splatters within software, but then also on screen violence and blood, so on camera, proper color grading, multi-camera setup, microphones, the list goes on and on and on. But however, if we do come to make any shorts or anything like that next year, I can guarantee you they will be 10 times better than that Halloween special, which was really made for a bit of fun and to test things out. Anyway, that's it for this episode. We'll probably upload a new video again in the new year. I hope you had a really good Christmas, and I hope you have a fantastic new year. See you.